What is the scariest thing that's ever happened to you?
In VRChat, I came across a dude that was around the age of 30, and he was himself in a public world. This guy's having like the loudest I've ever heard in my life in a public world. Like right around
Ew,
here.
that was...
Alright,
That's disgusting.
thank you for sharing. Unfortunately, I don't think I can put that one on YouTube.
Yeah.
Wait, how do you know you're on YouTube? You didn't tell me. You didn't tell me. You didn't tell me, dude.
Oh my god.
Hey guys, sorry to interrupt, but I noticed a huge portion of you are not subscribed. Guys, we are so close to 60,000 subscribers. So if you enjoy my content, then please hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. It only takes 1 second and it really helps a lot. This video shout out is from Twitter. Thank you, Mr. Zaddy, for being awesome. Now let's get back to the video.
Okay, so I have a few family members actually, an aunt and uncle specifically, who got mixed in with a bunch of demonic, they were really into summoning demons and channeling otherworldly figures, things like that, ghosts, stuff like that. Well, I had been maybe 11 or 12 or something like that. They had apparently opened a portal to hell on the side of my childhood house, and a demon had come through. We knew this because for years afterwards, it basically clung to the children of the family. I remember one time specifically where it was me and a friend who were playing video games in my room, and we'd been there all day. My parents had gone out to get groceries and things like that. They'd come back, and they walked into my room and said, "What have you been doing out in the hallway?" I'm like, "What do you mean? We've just been sitting in here all day." I was like, "Come out here." So we go out there, and on the wall is thousands of tiny black handprints all over the wall. Looked like they were soot, from a fire. They were all over the wall. And I know for a fact that neither myself or my friend did it. We've been in the room all day.
Why do you seem so scared?
So it started with me going up the stairs to my apartment. It was middle of the night, right? It was completely dark. And then I go up and I hear something open, a door, and I'm thinking it's probably a neighbor or something. And I just hear or feel something breathing right down my face. And I hear it. And I'm like, oh shit, that's a dog that is in guard duty right now. I'm like, hi doggy. Because that's the first reaction I have. The owner comes rushing out and he's like, I'm sorry. Did he bite you? I know, if he did, I'm so sorry. He bites, he has bitten a couple of people. He's really guarding. I hope it's okay. And I'm like, no, he didn't bite me. And then they went away and I walked up and then everything was okay.
So when I was around 5 years old, I remember I was playing tag on the playground, and suddenly, my first ever asthma attack. I was and I was running, and then I remember just laying there on the mulch. I was gasping for air, and I was scared. Nobody saw me because it was a big playground. It was the scariest thing I've ever experienced.
All I wanted to do was
play with you.
I was jumping with my horse, yeah. It tripped after the jump and then it kind of rolled over me and I broke my arm, and yeah.
It's probably gonna be gross for some of you guys, but it's a real thing, alright? So there I was.
Let's go.
In the bathroom, doing my thing. And then she walks in. Beautiful girl. I'm talking 6'3", brunette, blue eye. Oh, she's beautiful. However, she was clutching her stomach as she came in, and I immediately knew Taco Bell was on its way. And there was nothing I could do to stop it. 3 hours later, man. 3 hours. Oh god. Oh god. I'm sorry.
please come and play with me. I am so lonely.
I don't know if it's scary, it's just something scary that happened to me. Whenever I'm in front of a screen, I hallucinate sometimes. I thought I saw a face under my bed. And yeah, so it's actually kind of creepy.
Sometimes I see things that are not even there in my room. But I wake up in the middle of the night and I cannot move. I'm laying in my bed. One time I was laying there and I could barely open my eye, only one. And I tried to open it and I saw in the corner of my room a real girl standing there. I tried to scream but nothing came out. It was so terrifying, man.
You're not afraid of the dark, are you?
When I went in the woods with a bunch of friends, and one of us got lost, and we heard screams, but only me and one of my other friends heard them. We saw like bushes bristling and stuff, and nothing was in them. It was a really weird experience, really up.
I was on top of a building, probably about 3-4 stories, and it was raining a day before, and I was just chilling up there, and then I lost my footing, and I started sliding to the part that didn't have a little guard part, and the only thing that saved me was an air conditioning unit, and it broke, and it was hanging on by one screw, so I was just I started crying like a little.
Doesn't it just mean the scariest thing that's happened to me? Well, my mom and dad divorced once I was very young, and I went to go visit her and her boyfriend at the time. That night, I just heard screaming from the room, and the door was locked, and once my mom somehow got to the door and unlocked it, he had her in a chokehold. I didn't know what to do, and she was telling me to call the cops. I kind of ran out the room. I was running down the road to the houses next door. Someone actually answered, and I called the cops. But that was probably the scariest things that happened to me before.
So, a year or two ago, I had this dream, and I was in a school bus by myself, sitting there, and I couldn't move at all. And the bus slowly started moving across the road into a forest, and I could not move at all, and there was creepy children singing in the background. When I woke up, I couldn't move for a solid 5 minutes. Very scary.
I got a really scary dream. Okay, so I had this dream that me and my dad went into a house. We saw this bottle of alcohol, and then he let me drink some. I drank some, and then I passed out. And then the next morning, I couldn't move. And then I thought about ponies, dead ponies. It was scary.
The closest thing for the scariest thing was that I was in school. It was in health class, and then I heard loud bang go off. Everyone's what was that? Was that a gunshot? And I just keep going. I'm oh god, what is going on? Turns out it was some jack throwing books down really hard, and I was oh my goodness.
In my city, there's a lot of drugs and drug dealers and stuff, and they usually go after smaller, younger people. And there was one time I was out with my friend. We were just hanging out in the city. There was this guy who sat down at the bench next to us. He just kept leaving and going back and sitting down and staring at us and stuff. We got creeped out, so I took the bus home, and I saw in a car he was following me. So I got off at a school. I just kept running and running, and he just followed me the whole way for some reason. I don't know. I got safely home, but I still see him in the city almost every day. He just keeps staring at me. I don't know what he wants to do with me.
Me and my friends were really drunk, right? It kind of escalated really quickly. Basically all of us came on top of this roof. We saw who could jump the furthest from the roofs to the other roof. So I slipped, and I honestly thought that I would die in that moment. Holy shit. I fell straight down on my shoulder, so basically nearly with my head first.
When I was 12, 13, I got chased by a car full of grown men, and there was 4 of them. That was scary.
Maybe
my dad came and saved the day though.
My scooter accident, when I fell over and I had an accident, the scariest moment for me. I was driving in the morning. It was dark, it was a bit rainy, and there were no lights. And there were people walking, and I didn't saw them, so I drove into them. My knees hit my scooter, I fell over my scooter and hit me with my face. I had how do you call it? The headache thing, the brain.
Concussion?
Yeah, basically a concussion.
Yeah. And I broke my skull a bit.
One guy at a 21 Savage concert, he was wasted. I could smell the alcohol coming off this guy. He was let's get this mosh pit started. He runs towards all the high schoolers that are there to see 21 Savage. and he just like pushes like 10 of them. 10 people fall down, and then he just starts punching everybody, like just fighting everyone, spinning around in circles, hitting people and kicking people. And then this big dude in the crowd comes up and he like starts fighting this guy. It was the most crazy thing. The concert hasn't even started yet. It was crazy.
The most scariest thing ever happened to me in my dream. I was in my old elementary school, and everyone in every person there didn't have a face, and they were chasing me. And when they were chasing me, I started screaming and stuff. And then one of them tackled me, and I just woke up.
I'm a little bit crazy inside my head. If I'm running in the dark, I see people. It could be in my room while I'm sleeping, so it's a problem in my mind. So it's kind of weird, but it just scares me. I passed out, and yep.
One of my friends, he died from like asphyxiation, like where you choke on your own like vomit. It was a really tough experience, especially for, me being only 14. That's crazy. But my message to you guys is always seek for help if you have an addiction of any kind. That can really change your life to find that help that you need.
Wow, look at you. I'm so proud you made it all the way to the end of this video. If you enjoyed this, you might as well go check out another one of my videos, and you should definitely join our Discord server and follow me on Twitter.